Hey, this is Captain Matt. Today we're going to be working on the Proline. We got to replace the batteries. Both batteries have gone. The reason that both batteries went is because we evenly use our batteries. So we use bank 1, and the next trip out we use bank 2. So we're always alternating back and forth. These batteries are they're almost 4 years old. So living in South Florida, 4 years is good use out of battery. So I don't, much as you hate to spend the money on 2 new batteries, I don't mind doing it because they both went at the same time. I got good use out of them, and we don't want to get stuck on the water. So let's get to it. All right, so here's our batteries. We got 2 batteries on this boat. The first thing we did is our battery selector switch, which is right up here. We shut that off so we have no battery going between no juice going between the batteries. So then all we have to do is we loosen these. This is just a 1/2 inch. These batteries are just under 4 years old, and we are in South Florida, so to get 4 years out of a battery, it's pretty good. So it's, as much as you hate to spend the money on two new batteries at once, you're glad to get 4 years out of it. Now, when I put these batteries in, we put them in at the same time, and every time I run this boat, I switch my batteries back and forth. So if I go out on battery 1 one day, I run it on battery 1, the next day I'll run it on battery 2. And what this does is this will evenly wear the batteries out because they're constantly, recharging and discharging. If I didn't do that, I may end up with one battery that was still good and one battery that was shot, which is kind of a pain too, because inevitably it would be battery number 1 that would go first, and I'd have to take battery 2 out to replace battery 1. So it's actually a little more convenient to have both batteries go at the same time, as long as you're at the dock, not if you're on the water. So, and the reason we're doing this is because we want to prevent breaking down on the water. And the answer is yes, I could have used a ratchet for this. So I know there's people thinking, all right, so now these are bilge wires, and these are not actually attached to the harness for number 1. So I'm just going to go ahead and bend these around because I don't want them to fall off and forget about them. Okay, so battery 1, battery 2. You'll see battery 2 is actually held together with a little wire tie here. This negative just runs from here back to the other battery. This is the negative that's running back to the motor. So that's it. Now it's time to go get some new batteries. Let's go get some new batteries. Got the new batteries. first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put these things on charge for a little bit just to make sure that they're fully charged and number them so we have a number 1 and number 2 again, and then we'll put them in a boat. Well, it looks like they're about 90%, so it shouldn't take long. Our negative, positive, what we did first is we cleaned everything up really well. We used some dielectric grease, which is this stuff right here, on all of our fittings, all the wires. I like to grease the heck out of everything, just because this is, it's in a marine environment, so it's going to get wet. So that battery's in. This is the battery we're working on right now. This is number 2. So what we did is we cleaned all the fittings, and there's like a little black coating that they put on them to keep them from getting tarnished up too much. And you just take a wire brush and clean that off. And then on all the fittings, we just used a wire brush and a piece of emery cloth just to go ahead and clean those up. So let's go ahead and hook this up and see if it works. My opinion is you can never use too much dielectric grease. And our nut. Okay, that's our ground. want to make sure when you're tightening this up, you don't swing the wrench over and go positive to neutral. Okay. Well, let's see if she works. Let it go through the stations here. Everything looks okay. We got the green light. There we go. Once again, it's fired up. Alright, now all that's left is to clean this thing up. It's amazing how quick the mold works down here. But it's tarpon season's right around the corner here. Got new batteries. Get this thing cleaned up and get it all set to go. Okay, that's it for this. Batteries installed, we're ready to fish. We'll see you next time.